Shalom. I want to start off by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect who are continuing to fight and teach this thing of ours in truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Manatazak with GMS Ancient of Days in Los Angeles, currently teaching with the small sanctuary in Inglewood. And today, through the Spirit, I want to get into a lesson going into how there are no free rides into the kingdom. Okay, that is the title for this lesson. There are no free rides to the kingdom, and what I mean by that is, okay, being in this truth is not a spectator sport. Okay, if you were called into this marvelous light, you were called for a reason and for a purpose, and that purpose is to do the work of Him that sent you. Okay, Yahweh Shema Shai has predestined us and preordained us to a purpose and to a cause. Okay, He could have gave this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, okay, to any of His Israelite spirits. Okay, He could have made any of us a prophet, but the fact that He chose you, okay, to get this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, to know these mysteries, okay, that's not a light thing. Okay, you have to consider, okay, Yahweh being the creator of all existence. Okay, we are working for the creator of the universe. Okay, and He has positioned us here for His purpose, which is to teach His word. Okay, this isn't our show. This is the show of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And that just also goes to bring recognition and bring light onto how important the prophets really are. Okay, because we are bringing the message of the Supreme Being. Okay, now I don't want to get all mystical and fantastical and whatnot, but you know, the truth is the truth. Okay, and this is a very important work that we're doing. But with that being said, I want to begin in the book of Matthew, chapter 9, beginning at verse 35. And then we'll go on through there, through the Spirit. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the hopeful elect. This is Matthew chapter 9, beginning at verse 35. It says, "And Yahushua went about all the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogues, and preaching the gospel of the kingdom, and healing every sickness and every disease among the people." Okay, and this people is talking about the Israelites, because Yahushua wasn't going around just teaching and preaching and healing heathens. Okay, He was sent as a messenger and as a light unto His people for the forgiveness of their sins, because only the Israelites were given the law, statutes, and commandments. So only the Israelites were sinning and breaking the law and the covenant that was given to them. So Yahushua came as that intercessor, that perfect mediator, okay, back to the good graces of the Heavenly Father. All right. Continuing on, verse 36, it says, "But when He saw the multitudes, He was moved with compassion on them, because they fainted and were scattered abroad as sheep having no shepherd. Then said He unto His disciples, The harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest, that He will send forth laborers into His harvest." Okay, so Yahushua saw how destitute His people were, but it moved Him to compassion, because as much as He wanted to help His people, we were scattered far and wide because of the curses. Okay, Yahushua Himself even said He is not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel, not of these other nations. Because of these curses, we have been scattered into every nation. Okay, and because of that, we're going to come back into the fold looking like and speaking the language of these other nations. Okay? So it shouldn't be a wonder that in these last days you're going to have those that look so-called Japanese, so-called Chinese, so-called Korean, so-called Filipino. Okay? But they're going to trust and believe on the word of Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay? And oftentimes you could tell by just their salt alone, their flavor alone, their swag alone, that they're different from the heathen nations that they're surrounded by. They oftentimes stand out, because that's the nature of Israel. We're the cream of the crop. Okay? But the point I wanted here is, even Yahushua said that the work is plenty, but the laborers are few. The workers are few. Okay? Those that have been positioned and tasked to do this work are few. Okay? So if you have that unction to teach, or if you have that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, okay, then you're obligated to go out and teach your people. Because the Most High didn't have to allow you to wake up to this truth. He didn't have to allow you to give you the understanding to break these precepts down and to understand these mysteries that are contained within. Okay, he could have left us as just niggas in the street wandering around, being aimless, okay, sinning willfully, and just waiting on our judgment and our destruction. But instead, Yahweh Shemashai chose you and tasked you with a purpose. As Apostle Har oftentimes said, okay, and these are for a lot of you Israelites that are just stuck behind the keyboard or feeling nervous about hitting the block, okay, the highways and hedges like we were commanded to do, okay. If you understand one scripture, then you need to go and bring it out, all right. Even if you have just a couple precepts to back it up, that's something. The word of the Lord does not go out void, and best believe if you're putting your best foot forward, Yahweh Shemashai is going to increase you in due time. Okay, that's all a part of multiplying your talents. Okay, but you got to put you got to take the first step first. Okay, and then Yahweh Shemashai is going to show and prove that He's with you. Okay, because at the end of the day, Yahweh Shemashai did not give us the spirit of fear, and He is not going to hinder you from bringing out His word if He gave you His word to understand. Okay. Now, with that being said, we're going to jump to 1 Timothy 4 and 16. Okay. It says, I'll begin at verse 14. Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy, with the laying of the hands of the presbytery. Okay, which is going into the elders, right? And you know, the elders have been leading by example this whole time. They do the most videos. They never stop going out into the highways and hedges. They're constantly teaching and edifying and leading by example. Okay, that's why we give double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Okay, because unlike these other groups and their, respected leaders, okay, it should go without saying that the apostles and elders have been putting in work nonstop. They have never took their hand off the plow. All right. It says, meditate upon these things, give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all. Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine. Continue in them, for in doing this thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee. Okay, so we're not just doing this for ourselves, but we're also doing this for those that could potentially hear the lessons that we're bringing out. Okay, yeah, we're using YouTube as our primary platform, okay, to spread this word. Okay, we don't need to jet set all across the globe. YouTube and the unicorn, the internet, is doing the heavy lifting for us. Okay, but with that being said, that's why it's all the more important for all of us that have been given this understanding to actually do these video epistles and hit the highways and hedges, upload our videos. Okay, because yeah, we are on YouTube and it's a platform that quote unquote tracks views and quote unquote tracks likes, even though a lot of great millstones is being shadow banned from the truth anyway. Okay, because a lot of the numbers that we get don't really reflect how many people are actually watching and actually liking our videos. Okay, but that shouldn't be a hindering to doing the work. Okay, because we're on the unicorn, okay, our videos can be seen worldwide. And if you look at the algorithms, you'll be surprised to see who actually watch you. Okay, for my personal channel alone, there's a lot of people from all around the world. Okay, like especially out in Europe and on the islands. Okay, that watch my channel that I would have never known. Okay, and oftentimes they don't leave comments or likes or anything. Not that YouTube would show me the actual numbers anyway, but it just goes to show you never know who you're going to reach when you bring out a lesson. Okay, every lesson that you bring out has a point and it has a purpose, and it's going to reach who it was intended to reach. Because you never know who among those people that actually view and like your video, or maybe just view it and not even like it. Okay, you never know how it may affect them into coming into the truth. You could be part of the reason why the hopeful elect wake up, but you got to do the work first. Okay, and that's all that we've been tasked to do, and that's why we do this in truth and sincerity. We don't need a building, we don't need a 501c3 charter. All we need is the instructions that are contained within, and then everything else will take care of itself. All right, let's get 2 Corinthians 13 and 5 as a quick insert. All right. The book of 2 Corinthians chapter 13, Verse 5, it says, examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Because it's not about what I say. Okay, it's about what's within you and what are you going to do. Okay, don't the scriptures say let us work out our own salvation with fear and trembling? We already know what's going to happen according to the scriptures if we don't do what we're told. The scriptures constantly tell us that obedience is better than sacrifice. Are you going to be obedient to the instructions contained here within? Don't take my word for it. Study to show thyself approved and look it up yourself. And if you feel conflicted and convicted within your spirit, okay, then you're going to make the right choice according to what Yahweh Shema Shai tasked us to do. Not by what I'm telling you to do. But, okay, the things that I'm doing are the things that the scriptures tell me to do. To constantly feed the sheep, as Yahweh Shai told Peter. Okay, to follow in the footsteps of those who's watching over our souls. The apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who are constantly putting up videos and live shows and street preaching and et cetera, and bringing out different news clippings and things going on in the world. We are the true watchmen. Okay, this is the whole reason that we've been woken up to this truth, is to shed light on all the darkness and all the lies that have kept our people stagnant and in that perpetual state of mental, spiritual, and physical slavery. Okay? Continuing on, it says, now I'm going to start again. This is the book of 2 Corinthians 13:5. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves how that Yahweh Shai Mashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates. Okay, and a reprobate is someone who is outside the temple. Okay, and in the ancient world, those that were outside the temple were the heathens, and you don't want to be accounted as a heathen, especially if your lineage goes back to being a Hebrew Israelite. That's a great shame indeed. Verse 6, okay, but I trust that ye shall know that we are not reprobates. Okay, and how do you do that? How do you prove that you're not a reprobate? By coming into this marvelous light and doing what is required of you in the Spirit. Now, we each have our own light. We each have our own portion of the Spirit, okay? But you're not going to find out what that purpose is and what your lot is if you never put your foot forward to find out, okay? And here it is. We're in the last days. Time is running out. We're not going to be prophesying on the streets forever, okay? There's going to come a time where even videos like this aren't going to be found. We're going to be taken off the internet. We're going to be mandated to be taken off the streets. And when that happens, all hell is going to break loose. And you're going to wish that you took the time, okay, to get these prophecies, get these breakdowns, build up your faith. But by then it's going to be too late, and you're just going to be left with what little you already know, or what you think you know. Okay, so that's why it's important to put your best foot forward now, as the scriptures say in the Apocrypha, while you yet have liberty. Okay, that time is now. Okay, so don't squander your chance, because there's nothing like being afflicted in your mind with questions of what if. And I wish I would have did this, or wish I would have done that. It's going to be too late in that time. And we all know, according to the scriptures, that Yahweh Shema Shai is not a respecter of person. Okay? Now, from here, I'm going to get 1 Corinthians 9:16, which I believe through the Spirit is a beautiful precept to back this up. It says, for though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory of, for necessity is laid upon me. Okay, and this goes to myself first and foremost, because I'm the one that's teaching this lesson. Okay, this is nothing to glory of. Yeah, I have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that was departed down onto me, and I'm studying and doing what I can to retain this information through the Spirit, but it's nothing to glory of, because it's not of me. This is of Yahweh Shema Shai. But even more than that, necessity is laid upon me. This is my reasonable service. I understand I was given the information and the understanding of this knowledge to bring out to the people, not to retain it and hold on to it. Like that servant that kept his talent hidden in a napkin. Okay, and when Yahweh Shai came back, he was angry. So apply that to yourselves with all the knowledge and breakdowns that you actually understand. Okay, and the things that you're applying to your life. All right, what are you doing to wake up the next man? Are you charging for breakdowns? Are you sitting on breakdowns and not bringing out lessons when you should? These are the questions that you need to ask yourself, because the scriptures say our righteousness is as filthy rags. Scriptures also say that we can never go far enough with pleasing Yahweh Shema Shai. So yeah, we're required to do a video a week or a video a day, okay? But even that isn't enough, pursuant to the prophecy, pursuant to the scriptures. But the reason the apostle said that is so that we're constantly keeping our mind single and keeping our sights on the main thing, okay, which is deliverance from the coming destruction, okay. Continuing on, it says, "For necessity is laid upon me, yea, woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel." Okay, woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel. We know woe in the scriptures means destruction. So if I preach not the gospel, then I might as well just be destroyed, because my whole purpose of waking up to this truth was to preach the gospel. Okay, and those that are in the like mind, all right, that understand these scriptures, those of us that are in the camps that teach the alike doctrine of the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, okay, these are men, okay, that have been chosen to bring this word out. All right, whether you like it or not, those that call upon the names of Yahweh Shema Shai, beginning with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, are those that have the truth. Okay, but it's also important to recognize who's teaching the correct doctrine as well. Okay, and by process of elimination, okay, that it should be pretty apparent who Yahweh Shema Shai is dealing with, and I'll leave it at that. All right, I'm gonna get Romans 12:1 since I quoted it, just to show you that I'm just not pulling scriptures out of my ass. Okay, these things that I'm bringing out are written. Okay, Romans 12:1, and the headline reads, "Dedicate your lives to the Most High." It says, "I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice." Now, how are you going to do that? By hiding behind a keyboard, or putting up lessons and never showing your face? Okay, we make our bodies a living sacrifice by going out on the highways and hedges. Okay, which was the whole purpose of us being called into this gospel, is so our people can see us and our enemies can see us. Didn't the scripture say, "Go into the gates of the nobles"? Didn't the scripture say that in the end our eyes shall see our teachers? Okay. What are you afraid of? All right. The scriptures say that when two or more are gathered, Yahweh Shai is in the midst. That's why it's important to be a part of a brotherhood. Okay, so you can lean on him for support, and vice versa. Okay, and be your brother's keeper, and congregate and fellowship, because there's going to come a time where we're not going to be able to do that anymore. And the brotherhood is a beautiful thing, because that's an extension of the kingdom. Okay, and we're all fighting to be a part of that hallowed number, that sacred number, that special fraternity of men under Yahweh Shai, the 144,000. Okay, we're hoping to be a part of that lot. All right, I'm going to read Romans 12 again. This is Romans 12:1. "I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service." Okay, it's our reasonable service to make our bodies a living sacrifice. Because hey, even the scriptures say that there's going to be martyrs amongst some of us. Okay, and I'm pretty sure I speak for more than one brother when I say that, Lord willing, I'm allowed to make it and see everything play out, because that's a reward and a blessing in of itself. But if it is written that I be a martyr, I pray that the Most High gives me the spirit to endure that. Okay, and we already know that the Most High is not going to put more on us than what we can handle. Okay, but we're entering into some very turbulent times. Okay, just look at the morale all across Babylon. These holidays aren't the same anymore. Okay, violence is increasing. The love of many is waxing cold. These stores are closing. Okay, the monetary system is going from the physical to the digital. Okay, this is all prophecy. These are all the things that are being written about, and it's playing out right before our very eyes. Okay, and as exciting as that is, you must know that these are the end times, and there's no free rides to the kingdom. You're going to have to do some type of work and put your best foot forward. Okay, isn't that how you prove your faith? By your works? Well, what works are you going to present to Yahweh Shema Shai in order to withdraw from that spiritual bank account? When all hell breaks loose, and we're expecting divine miracles and spiritual power and angels, Yeah, you may trust and believe in those things, but what are you doing to show the Lord, okay, that you expect to receive this miraculous deliverance that's about to encompass the whole globe, okay? These are the things that you need to ask yourself when the scriptures say, examine yourself daily, whether you be in the faith. Are you really in the faith? Or are you really just looking at this for entertainment? Okay, it's a serious question. Uh, let's get 2nd Ezra 9 and 7. And I guess we can end it with that. I want the lesson to be too long because you know Jake's attention span isn't all that great. 2nd Ezra 9 and 7. I'll begin at 6. This is the book of 2nd Ezra in the Apocrypha, chapter 9, verse 6. It says, even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonders and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs. And oh boy, are we about to experience that in these last days, especially in Jacob's trouble, a time like never before. Verse 7, and every one that shall be saved, and shall be able to escape by his works, and by faith whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I sanctified them for me from the beginning. And that's the perfect scripture to close this lesson. Okay, and Lord willing, those of us of the hopeful elect, Lord willing, this was edifying, and you take heed to the words that were contained therein, because we all are hoping for a deliverance. But you got to have some works to show your faith, and so it's a testimony onto what you really believe in these last days. Okay? So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect. I want to give all glory and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect who are continuing to fight and teach this thing of ours in truth and sincerity. This has been your brother Manat Dazak, and until the next lesson, Shalom.